Hello YouTube, it's John. I'm here with an unboxing, or a series of unboxing, and it will start with Warcry Catacombs, Death and Glory in the Lands of Dungeons of Chaos. I shall crack this open and have a quick look inside. Okay, that's all the wrapping off. This was released on the 31st of October. It is Warcry Catacombs. That's the back of the box. It shows you everything you get in the box, and everything you need to play will be in the box. This is not an expansion for Warcry. This is like it's standalone game that can be adapted into Warcry, or the original core box of Warcry can be adapted into Warcry Catacombs. As you can see, it's all very nice. The first thing that springs to mind is just how heavy it is. It weighs quite a bit. But I have noticed that the box isn't quite as sturdy as the old box, the core set box, which is not a problem because once this is all built, it never go back in here anyway, so I'll use that for making some terrain up. So, look at that, just what I wanted, sheet of blank paper. Wow. Okay, let's move that to one side and let's take a look at the sprues. We'll move the camera in. So this looks to be one of the war bands, the Siren of the Flame. I'm not going to dwell too long on these because the Games Workshop miniatures or Citadel miniatures, and we all know they're very good. As you can see, you get 17 miniatures in the game. 5, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4. So Sirens of the Flame are 8 miniatures. That's sprue number 1. This looks to be is it the Canaanite Shadow Stalkers. So yeah, that's quite a lot. These are busy sprues as always. There's a lot going on. Once again, Citadel, I mean, they make the best plastic miniatures in the world. We have the terrain sprue. Let's move the camera back out a bit now. If you've got the core set, you'll recognise the bow tower. Move that back out a bit more. So you've got one of those. Again, from the original core. Deadly terrain pieces. Watch out for these. These points are sharp, and you can stab yourself in the hand, or worse with these. I've had a couple of people do it while trying to pick up dice and not paying attention. Again, from the core set, some more ruins. of a sprue of ruins. Let's have a look at some of the new terrain features we've got here. So this is new. There's sewer, broken pillars. So that looks to be a broken tomb of some type. Up here, another tomb, some walls. The walls are double-sided features. The detail on some of these are just amazing. Let's see if I can get in on that dude there. There's a broken open crypt or coffin. A skeleton. These are good. I'm not very good at painting terrain, unless it's terrain that I built myself, and it's acceptable. So no doubt Ross will take this on as a challenge and get it done and make a video. So there's one. Here we've got doorways. So there's a number of doorways. The bridge. Doorway foundations. There's a lever. Yeah, good quality. A good amount of detail. And of course, skulls, more skulls than you're ever going to need in a war game, but it is Games Workshop. So you get 2 frames of them, those both the same. Excuse me. So you get a metal bridge, wooden bridge, doorways. So 1, 2, 4, 5. So it looks to be about 10 doorways. Levers. These will be good if you do Dungeons and Dragons or any sort of dungeon crawl. You could use them, they fit right in. Same with accessory sprues. I hope that they bring this out as a separate set. I suspect they will. Hey, let's go back to the box. In the box we go further still. We have a divider with a nice bit of artwork on it. That will go on my hobby wall along with the core set one. And then we've got tokens and battle boards. We'll come back to that. Here we go. So this is all one pack. This is both the books, the core rule book and the Catacombs book, and the cards. And then underneath the divider, a bag of Warcry dice. These are just normal 6-sided dice, but they do have that funky pattern on the 6. Places for the miniatures, for the war bands, and a crap load of zip bags for your cards and golf. Right. Get this open. Catacombs, death and glory in the lands and dungeons of chaos. To give you an idea of the terrain, a bit of a glare coming off one of the lights there. That's all the terrain features you get in the Catacombs book. And here we have your 2 warbands. So 9 and 8. Some of these guys look incredible. open. Number of frames. It's your how to build guide. Standard if you've done any sort of Games Workshop stuff. Now, once again, these how to build guides are some of the best you're going to find until they've taken the 3D renders and then separated them, making it easy. They do sometimes have printing errors, and it's always worth to check and make sure that the right numbers and the frames match up with the model you're building. So it's very detailed, as I expect. How to build the bell tower. How to build the terrain, the wall pieces. The deadly terrain with that danger to life deadly terrain, not just for your miniatures, because they are sharp. Here's a new little feature from the original, how to build the tombs, and then on the back, doorways, broken walls, and such like. Terrain in here is very good, I do like it. Okay, so we've got two books. We have the core rule book and the Catacombs rule book. This core rule book is exactly the same as the one that was released when Warcry first came out. It hasn't been reprinted. It is from the print run, so you will need to get the FAQ for this, because this hasn't been updated. If you've got one of these already, sell it to your friend. We'll stick it on eBay. I suspect there's going to be a lot of them on eBay. So, this is the bit we're all here. The Catacombs book, a supplement to the book. A quick look through here. So these are additional rules to the core rule book for playing in the dungeon environment. Let's zoom this in a bit. I'm not going to dwell on each page, and I'm not going to go through the rules, what's new. This is just an unboxing. There's plenty of videos out there, but once again, already I'm liking the artwork. What we've come to expect. The horrors below. Once again, if you get any sort of Warhammer Age of Sigmar game, you will find this in every publication. So try and get you to play the mass battle game. And here we go. Token sheet, dice, warband cards will come to that. The board with the scenery in it, additional scenery, core rule book, and this book we're looking at now, Catacombs. Thanks, Mall. So from what I've seen, and I've not read this, as you've seen, I've just unboxed it now, that the Catacombs are actually inside a deceased monster, a dead monster of some type, a giant dead monster. And there's whole civilizations that have lived inside this monster for thousands of years in the mortal realms. I do like a good map. It's the 8 points. The Morton Roundstone, Fire and Slaughter. It's a quick look at the warbands. This is the same as the core rulebook. If you've seen that, there's a little bit of a background there to them. Killers in the depth. Look at some of that. It captures the game. It won't capture your tabletop unless you've got a fog machine, extended lighting, lots of money for terrain. But yeah, it does the job. That looks excellent. That might be worth trying to build as a hobby project. Again, here we've got your wall bands. These are all painted up. So this is the Sirens of the Flame. Options for this guy by the looks of it. Shadow Stalkers. They do make the best miniatures, or the best plastic miniatures at least. Again, another dynamic photograph with 3D terrain, always good. Some more photos. Tunnels of Death. Cool beans, I like it, I'm liking it a lot. Catacombs. So here we are with the rules. So these are an addition to the rules you find in the core rulebook. Dungeon battles, dungeon terrain, description of the parts, open dungeon doorway, sealed dungeon door, metal bridge, wood bridge, dungeon ability, universal dungeon abilities. Dungeon battle fighters can use the following abilities in addition to any others that they can use. Alright, so when we come to the card packs, I'll show you this, but you have universal abilities in the core rules, and now you've got some universal dungeon abilities. There's 3 of them there, and there are 1 for the Night Haunts and 1 for the Corvus Cabal. So they're going to get their own little dungeon special abilities there, which seems to be interesting. Running strike, floating through walls, I'm guessing that's the Night Haunt. The Infernal floor plan, how to set up. So this is the same size, I believe, as the game board you get in the core rule set, which is going to be 30 inches by 22. But you've now got areas of denial, which is going to make movement a bit different, definitely for sure. And again, they've got what looks to be 1-inch squares. So you could use this board in a D&D battle or an RPG battle. There's the scenery there. Does look interesting. I might make my own. I don't see it too much on there at the minute. I'll try and find a better picture. But if I zoom in, this dungeon has walls, although you can't see them from this picture. Let me have a look. So here, that black mark there is a wall. So you're going to have to go through the doorway. So your movement and your position is going to be good. I have heard people asking why they haven't made this as a 3D feature. I'm pretty sure it's down to gameplay and expense. You put 3D walls on there and you're going to know just how difficult it is to move miniatures around. Dungeon battle plan generator. So there's no cards. In the original core set you had your battle plans, which were your terrain layout, the deployment for your warbands, the mission, and a twist if you wanted to play it. You don't get any of that. What they have is a table, and you roll on the table. Deployment card table A, deployment card table B, and this will tell you where your deployment comes on. Same victory cards, what you need to do to win the battle, and twist cards. So yeah, not sure about that. I would have probably liked the cards. but then again, it's not going to take too long to knock them up, and I suspect that GW will release a set of cards, because there's not as many. What's there? 12, 18, 24, 36. So 36 cards compared to the 36 cards for each section that they had in the last one. I think it was 36. Don't quote me on that. Deployment for playing games above ground. So you can play games above ground. Once again, the deployment, your setup, sorry, your game board setup is governed by these 6 layouts, and it's a matter of rolling a d6. Campaign section. Okay, so there is a campaign. So if you want to go into playing campaigns, and some of this is above ground as well. Oh, excuse me. And you've got fated quests and their own special layout and objectives to do. I haven't played a campaign game of Warcry. I played quite a lot of the core set, just the standalone battles recently. So it might be something we'll look into, might bring it to the channel. And here we go. There's some fated quests, which are always good. Honour or glory, even the most noble may occasionally sully their soul in pursuit of glory, while a black-hearted rogue might reveal themselves to possess a shard of honour. I say shard? Can't read that, it's upside down. Shred of honour. That makes more sense. So there's some additional rules. So there's a lot in here. So yeah, so for a 2-player set with everything you need to play, you're going to be in the Catacombs for a while. There's enough to keep you going there for a couple of months, I should think. And plus, if you take the core rule book, you'll find there's even more stuff to do. Right. Let's open this up without doing myself an injury. Like that. Break this open. Flexible measuring gauge. I found these to be really useful playing the core set, because you've got a lot of terrain and you can move, flex it around, get your movement on it. Still miss the whippy sticks, but these are good. I have a selection of these that I picked up. Always good. Keep hold of these. Right. Your token set is exactly the same. Or is it? Looks exactly the same as the original Warcry set, but I have noticed that the copyright is 2020. And looking at them, they look like the damage tokens have been updated a little bit to make them look a little more gruesome, if that's the word. Art touch up. This might have had an art touch up to it. It's hard to say. But yes, tokens are always good. Right. The board. It's a double-sided board. And I don't think I'm going to get the camera to go out far enough. Double-sided board. That's your standard above ground. This is one side of the double-sided board you've got in the core rule set. So 30 It's just, it's like 22.5. So it's the same size. This size here, this side even, is the Catacomb side. And the artwork on this is extraordinary. This is really good. So now you get a better look at those walls that I mentioned earlier in the video. You can't cross these, so you're going to have to go around the 8 points. Bloody stairway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it looks to be 11 entry points on the board. I do have a problem with boards, cardboard boards, that once this gets ruined you're going to have to get another one, and if the game goes out of print or there's a surge, then you're not going to be able to find one for a while. I'm going to make one of these, I think, make a 3D one, but without the walls. I might put some 1/2 inch blocks in just for the walls, because the walls are fixed, they're not going to be moving anywhere. And these they look to be 1 inch square, and they are. So the dungeon flooring, paving, is 1 inch square. So yeah, that looks very nice, even though I do have a problem with the boards. And again, the other side is for playing above ground. Okay, here we go. Let's get that out of the way before someone has an accident. You have an abilities card for each warband in the Catacombs box, and with pictures on the back. These are in English, and if you've got any of the previous Warcry stuff, you will find that there's multiple copies of the same card but in different languages. You don't seem to have that here. So again, warbands. I use the foreign cards, or the cards with different language on, so when I'm playing, I can actually tell which model is what. So I got my abilities, and then I got a visual representation of the models on the battlefield. I'm not going to go into all of those special abilities. You get these along with your universal abilities and your dungeon abilities. There is no universal abilities in the card pack, which I would have liked to have seen. They are in the core rulebook, but it does mean having to flip through the rulebook or making your own, print them out. And like I say, I would have liked to have seen the foreign version of these, just purely for my own satisfaction of being able to identify my models and what abilities go with which at the time I'm playing the game. So here we go. Once again, the card back. So, let's separate these out. Let's have a look. Okay, we'll come to them, they're not important. These are in case you've got multiples of the same model, but you only got the one card, profile card, so you can have 6 there, or 3. These are dead handy. I found in game, it stops you putting tokens on the models, but you can put them on the card, off the game board. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. See, there's 11 profiles for the Sons of the Flame, Icons of the Flame, and you'll see, I'm going to take those 2 there, but they look the same, apart from the weapon. So you've got weapon options when you build the miniature, but the profile changes. Yeah, the strength of this one is higher than the strength of that one, but the critical on this one is higher than that one. So it's all down to you. The points are the same. Speed's the same, toughness and health points are the same, so that's good. So here we go. I don't know the names of these, maybe I should turn one of these cards over. This is Fireborn. No options for that one, you can get the one in the box. This lady is the Inferno Priest. And this dude who seems to be on fire is the Mola. We have pre-initiative cards. These are basically the same model but with different weapon options. They're all each to the same points cost, 55. This one's 65. I'm guessing there's a reason. It's probably something to do with the weapon profile, it normally is. So options while building. We have, who's this? Initiate with weapon and flame burst pot. This one has a flame burst pot. I don't know what that is. Ah, right, okay. That's interesting. So looking at the model card, let's zoom him in. We're looking at this model here. You can see there's two different weapons, but only the one card. So I'm not sure if that's an error or it's missing a card. It could well be some sort of grenade that you buy as an upgrade. In the core rule books, so I have to have a look. Here we got the champion. So yeah, 170 points, 18 health. That's quite a big crit he's got there. I'm not going to go into all these, but if you play Warcry, you'll know what that means. And if you're not playing Warcry, maybe you should. And then we got the Blazing Lord coming in at 180 points. He's the leader. 20 health points. And again, that's six damage crit there. They look absolutely fantastic, although I have no chance of painting them like that. So then we move on to the Shadow Stalkers. Just quickly run through this. So who have we got here? This is a Slaughter Shade. One with a spear and the option to have a whip. So this is quite important, but I suspect that you're not going to be able to make too many of the same model. So it's worth looking into before you start building. Those we have Shroud Blade with, no, that's not a Shroud Blade. Shroud Blades and Cursed Swords. Again, a very dark elf looking miniature. Reminds me of the witches. Aha, so here's the Shroud Blade with the shield. And a Dark Flame Warlock with repeater crossbows. So there's your range attack. Not sure how that's going to work out fighting inside a confined area like a dungeon or a catacomb. Again, that looks really good. You could put these miniatures into any game you wanted. And who's this? Dark Flame Warlock with Doom Ring of Fire. Well, we've all had that, but again, and then the leader is the Shroud Queen, who I'm just trying to look at that now to see what that is, but how good does that look? Yeah, there's a full looks like some sort of Medusa type character. So, and that's it. It'd be interesting to find out what's going on with the flame pot for the initiates. Zoom that back out a bit. But that is a quick unboxing of Warcry Catacombs. I've got some more unboxings coming up, Warcry unboxings coming up. We're trying to squeeze them in as quick as we possibly can. Some from the new set, some of the older stuff as well, which I'm using to expand my existing core set. Until then, if you would like to leave a comment, or sorry, a bit of a bad throat this morning. If you would like to leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't already, give us a like, that would be most appreciated. And I shall be back with some more Warcry later.